And we see the next page in 2031, anyone making less than 15,000 sees that. Check this out. I thought this was a mistake. I thought I was not reading this correctly. An increase in their taxes of 74.3%. And from 15,000 to 30,000 of 20.6%. Is that correct? Or is that, did you guys make a mistake, or is that like...
No mistake in the number.
On tips, the president has said, your tips will be 100% yours. Does this tax bill continue the payroll tax on people's tips?
Yes, it does, Mr.
Overtime, the president said your overtime will be tax-free. Does this bill continue the payroll tax on overtime?
It does not exempt overtime from the payroll tax.
The president has said he's going to remove taxes on Social Security. Does this bill remove taxes on Social Security benefits?
The legislation provides an increased exemption amount.
But does it remove taxes on Social Security benefits as promised by the president?
Does not.
Okay, so I have a question, and my question is this. Where do we draw the line? Come on, Trump. Where do we draw the line? I saw this video, and you know, they said if you make less than $15,000 a year, you're going to pay up to 70% more on taxes. Come on, MAGA. Come on. Trump doesn't care about you guys. Trump only cares about the billionaires. Come on. When are you guys going to open your eyes and see that this man does not care about you? When are you going to... When? Come on. And this is, it happens all the time. He comes and he says, oh, I've got you, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And that's how it always goes. They make promises that they do not keep. Now look. It's crazy. Anyways, I'm just going to let the videos roll. And credit to all creators on this video. Let's keep watching more. Thank you. And if you like my content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.
What Republicans are saying is that if we make all of these cuts, we will then shift that and invest it into Medicaid for people who actually deserve it. But if that were true, then the top line number, our budget for Medicaid, would be staying the same, right? We'd be taking from undeserving people and giving it to deserving people, and that should even out. But that's not what's happening in this bill. This bill is cutting nearly $1 trillion in Medicaid spending overall. Why? Because down the hallway, they are trying to finance tax cuts for people who are inheriting $22 million houses. Because in 2017, Republicans and the Trump administration tried to increase the exemption of what you get a tax break on. If you used to inherit an $11 million house, you would get no taxes. You had no taxes on that, in that estate tax. They said that's not enough. We need no taxes on a $22 million house.
Will the young lady yield?
Expired, I have to finish. That expires now. And it costs a lot of money to extend that tax break up to $22 million. So to pay for that, they are doing this. They are modeling and completely retrofitting the United States Medicaid system to model it after the state with the third most catastrophic uninsured American number in the country. In the dead of night at 2:38 in the morning, when everyone is asleep, when we've asked for the opportunity to do this in the light of day so that people can call their representatives' offices in order to stop this disaster.
So MAGA voted for Trump because Trump promised to help the working class. But now he's breaking all of those promises one by one. Donald Trump's newest bill, you know, the one that's called like the One Big Beautiful Bill, was supposed to uplift the working Americans. No taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, help for seniors, support for struggling families, and that's exactly why millions of Americans voted for him. But here's what they're not getting. Sure, there's some short-term provisions, but everything that he promised isn't happening. What is happening is the bill is gutting Medicaid and SNAP program that millions of Trump voters rely on. It cuts support for healthcare, food assistance, and shifts the burden to the states. He promised to eliminate taxes on Social Security, but instead, retirees can get a $4,000 deduction only if they make $75,000 or less. And if you make more than that, you're out of luck. He also promised to raise taxes on millionaires. That is also not happening. The rich will stay being taxed at the 37% top rate. That is it. So who's winning? The billionaires, the defense contractors, the corporations. Okay, so who's losing? The exact Americans who believed in Trump's promise, now they're being left behind. Trump said he'd fight for the working class, but his bill is doing the complete opposite.
Has Trump ever sat down and had a dinner, just broken bread with MAGA supporters? Have you ever seen him invite like a large group of MAGA supporters to the White House? Past presidents have done that. They've had people all the way down from, wealthy businessmen, all the way down to just regular old people, supporters of theirs, special dinners at the White House at some point during their term. Trump never did it in his first term, and he hasn't done it yet. Think about it. Don't count the rallies. The rallies do not count. Has Trump, or better yet, would Trump be caught dead in a room up close and personal, like within breathing distance of a MAGA supporter? Do you ever just see him hanging out with MAGA supporters, shaking their hands, hugging them, doing autographs, that kind of stuff? No. You only see the rallies where he's at a distance. And he's used them. He's used the MAGA supporters, and now he got everything he needed, and he doesn't need them anymore. And it's so painfully obvious. So if you are MAGA, take my words to heart. When was the last time you saw Trump sit down with a group of true MAGA supporters and have like a glass of wine or a Coke or a hamburger? You haven't, and you won't.
Just another lie that Republicans and Trump told you so that they could give tax cuts to their billionaire best friends. And every single time the Republicans, the White House, or the Trump administration has released a tax plan this year, it has never mentioned one thing about no taxes on tips, no taxes on Social Security, and no taxes on overtime. And every single time I've said it, people have called me a liar, and they say, just you wait for reconciliation, just you wait for the next bill. But every single time, this is the full legislative text. It is 382 pages. And it does not say anything about no taxes on tips, no taxes on Social Security, and no taxes on overtime. Because that would cost this country $1.5 trillion in tax revenue that we need, because that is the exact same amount that Trump is cutting from taxes for Americans who own or who make over $400,000 a year. So another new bill that doesn't say anything about no taxes on tips, no taxes on Social Security, and no taxes on overtime, because Trump and the Republican Party will continue to lie to you because they know that you will not read the text. They know you will believe anything they say, and they know you will defend them and call people like me liars, even though this entire 382-page tax bill doesn't say anything about no taxes on tips, no taxes on Social Security, and no taxes on overtime.
Reporter asked Caroline Levitt, when all the trade deals are said and done, does Trump plan to keep the baseline 10% tax on America? And the answer was clear as day. The answer is yes. In fact, she said that the president is determined to keep the 10% tax. So all of the MAGA out there who voted so that they could afford to live, voted so that they could afford to purchase a house or go on vacations, or, maybe even just be able to afford groceries. Prices under Trump will not be going down. At least that is his plan. Raises the tariffs up, they'll come back down, but that 10% baseline tax will remain. We will not see prices that we saw when Biden was president until at least Trump's administration is over. I didn't vote for this. Why do we have to suffer through it too?
No politician in his right mind would ever vote on a bill to cut Medicaid, especially a politician who has a midterm coming up.
So now that we've all seen Trump's tax plan, and it doesn't include anything about eliminating tax on tips, bonuses, or overtime, and increases taxes on people who make the least amount of money while giving tax breaks to people who need tax breaks the least, are y'all still really excited about voting for Trump for your taxes? Because how's that working out for you?
So Trump's new tax bill is no tax on Social Security, no tax on tips, no tax on OT, and if you finance a car, you get to deduct the interest. Overall, it sounds like a freaking awesome plan.